Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3, where still we are beset by elves. No matter how many problems we solve, no matter how many enemies we put down, always elves. You would think this would have been truer of the skeletons, but no, the skeletons we can handle. It's just there's so goddamn many elves. Again, this is like a very anti-fiction. In the lore, elf and dwarf are both like relatively precious per body. But gosh, in the video game, there's just a billion of them and they're everywhere, huh?
Strike now, crewmen!
Alright, run. You will not escape. Then we knock you out trivially because your army is tiny and weak. Actually, I took way more damage there than I thought I was going to. So we could force her loyalty up a little bit higher. It hasn't so far been an issue. We've been completely ignoring the loyalty mechanic, but basically, if our lord's loyalty gets low, bad stuff, they'll steal units, whatever. Like, this is not a realistic concern for us in the situation we're in right now. Sometimes it matters, but we could push her up to like the cap maybe, and also give the units in her army some extra XP. These two bonuses are so small that I think we're going to go ahead and do that.
Take the booty.
Share the spoils with our lord and our units, apparently. We killed a bunch of their units, and a bunch of those kills are permanent. Some of those were real low level. And Henrietta hit level 20 and became immortal at the same time. So that's really a pretty huge win for us. We need 4 skills in this box. You have 50 melee defense. I think what I might want to do here is just take some Scarred Veteran. Versus weapon damage? Let's gain HP.
On the double!
As long as you're on the back of a big mountain, you are very shootable. It probably makes sense to make sure your HP is as high as it can be over anything else. And then honestly, maybe we have Pete just sail
Speed ahead.
yeah, like full speed to the north to run off Larian. And Altharian's gonna knock over Xandri, but I don't think we can prevent that and also prevent the attack on Lucchini.
Beyond even Quaish.
Huh. So they have some borrowed units here. They have a tree man. Their army as a whole isn't huge, 14 units, but everything we can see here is pretty elite. Like you can see the stats on those dragon princes are quite impressive. 80-point charge bonus. Yeah, I think it's worth having Pete sail north. Before we do that, actually, I'm going to be really greedy and grab this. I'll defeat a foe in battle. I don't care. Yeah, this is what I thought. Sometimes you get a real army. Most of the time, it's like a trivially defeatable tiny little thing. And I'll take the replenishment, I guess. Just to be as powerful as possible. Alright. 6,000 treasury, bunch of XP for Pete, also 7,000 more gold, because we're pirates, and whenever there's gold, there's just more gold. Doesn't even really make sense if you think about it. So I choose not to, because it is to my benefit. You know what, let's go take this one too. I can get up here to deal with this army while also getting exceedingly rich. I think that's fine. Yeah, I'll defeat a foe in battle for a great hoard of treasure. I love doing that. Again, pretty tiny, easy foe. And again, we can push our army's health back up. I think that's worth doing. Okay. Interesting. 20 armor and 12 leadership to the assigned unit. Growth up everywhere. Income up from all buildings. Yo, this is a... Pete, what a bonus. What a bonus, my dude. That Dead Man's Chest is actually a really good banner. That's a heck of a lot better than some of the banners you have equipped right now. Like the fucking... Where is it? The Lichbone Pennant? Get rid of that. You have earned yourself a Dead Man's Chest. Or rather, someone in your army has.
Has the crew's respect.
And Pete gets to finish the upgrade on the Reanimated Marksman. Just a little bit more missile strength, a bunch more ammo, and of course the ability to Avast Ye. which rules. Also, you're leveling up, but that's a lot less exciting. You kind of already have all the stuff we want.
The sea knows my fate.
All right, I think I do just... Yeah, we'll just sail as far as we can up here. All right, now we can definitely pursue every building upgrade we would like to pursue this turn.
Ready.
Made ourselves a tiny bit of cash.
I will.
So right now, this place is generating 250 gold per turn. I was going to put you in the water. I think let's stick to that
Or
plan.
be killed. Time to move.
Okay, here's that Plague Bearers of Nurgle faction. Very interesting. Vulture Mountain's defensive structures are not actually my most primary concern. Let's get this stuff built up and... Oh, you don't have the basic money-making building yet. What else can we improve? Oh, the Black Tower is ready to go to level 5. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, let's do that. Alhake is also ready for a big upgrade. Okay, that tears through that money pretty quickly. But that is exactly what you want to be doing with it when you get a big chunk like that. And Aranessa is ready to put some pressure up, you know, soon. In the near future. There will be pressure. So we could just recruit a couple of new vampires to throw into the slots here. Most of these things actually don't have all that much benefit faction-wide. Leadership up for... That's a weird set of units. Yeah, it's really just Fleet Treasurer is the one that we would want to make sure that we get built up immediately. Okay, that's a thing we can do. It is possible that I should have set the large amount of money we gathered there to the task of building that 4th army, but I didn't. Listen, there's going to be more large amounts of money. We are certainly going to be defeating lots of enemies, and there is still more piracy to do. Wow, yeah, look at all these units that seem just sending out all of a sudden. Weird. I'm curious to see what this Lizardmen faction is going to do. It should be tough going for them because like they're going to have the same problem that enemies in our territory always have. We could probably inflict more damage than a decisive defeat if we did this manually, but I don't think it would be enough to actually matter. Yeah, especially if he had chosen to actually take the territory, which obviously he did not, but we couldn't have relied on. Honestly, I think it's probably what he should have done in that situation. We don't have anyone in position to make him pay immediately. This I am fine with. All the people that hate you are already at war with me, so. Yeah, because we don't have anybody in position to threaten him immediately, and he could have healed off probably a pretty large percentage of the damage he took that turn by resting inside a friendly settlement, and maybe could have even tried to lessen the effects of the vampiric corruption in the area. Instead, he just took a bunch of damage and then elected to sit inside unfriendly territory being torn apart by zombie hands reaching up out of the ground and vampire bats swooping down from the skies by the million. I assume like these are the effects of vampiric attrition that are bad news for armies, right? It's just like nothing that would defeat an army by itself, but just little things about the hostile undeadness of the land. And I think that's what they're trying to portray with like the way different corruption morphs the landscape, and they just don't show you the carpet of grasping bony fingers, because think about the scale. Think about the hit to your graphics processor of animating that many tiny hands. Wow, those armies can really move. Are you actually gonna still... Yeah, wow. They had so many armies in the area, they were able to set up a triple attack and then followed the retreat with another multi-attack. All right, I'm hoping that this this Nurgle faction has built up their capital city down here into an impressive port. I would love to establish a cove in a place that is actually making some money right as we're about to start funding another army. And I think Durthu is ignoring us and just riding north, which is great. I'm riding, obviously. Durthu, the massive tree man, does not have a mount that could bear him, but you know what I mean. Most of his troops are riding deer or whatever it is that elves ride. Okay, some faction that was unimportant to us has disappeared, and you are just trying to make a living in Al-Kalabad, huh?
Feast!
Well,
We're shipshape.
let's get up there.
My compass.
So I want to do this in such a position that I'm not in reinforcement range of the city garrison.
More bodies washed up.
Yeah, we'll just sit here and look tough, and we'll see what they do about it.
Where to?
Henrietta makes it to Al-Haik this turn.
Forward.
Yeah, get absolutely as far as you can. We can't afford to repair Zandri.
Blood kiss of the seas. We are aligned.
Pete for sure gives chase, right? Obviously we give chase. Also, we get loot. Love to explore an island. And again, we caught another like half army out of position.
Time to feed.
Wow, that's a lot of replenishment.
It is only my woe.
Okay, a ship's necromancer, which we certainly don't need. 8,000 gold plus 7,000 gold. A classic find
Serve for eternity.
for Sir Pete Wakefield.
Heave ho.
All right, and we're still in friendly territory, so we're healing off the last bit of damage. Let's see what Larian does with this, because it's going to be very difficult to maneuver away from us. I want to swap over to Wendy before I spend any more money. Interesting. Your buildings are circular. Well, 250, 750. That makes it 900. Yeah, okay. This place is generating real money.
Duel to the death.
Let's go establish a cove.
We'll send a message.
So we do need to make sure that we hold on to some cash this turn. Can I hit it this turn?
No, it's
I can.
sky high.
Okay. So I don't need to save actually. We can just go ahead and set up right away.
On deck. Blood and toil.
Wendy gets to level 9 and learns more magic stuff, I guess. So you just have the 3 settlements. It's just the entirety of the Dragon Isles. Strength rank 43. Probably not going to be all that helpful, but you don't have to be. If you can just be a backup to the ogres. Unfortunately, you're at war with them, so coordination is going to be poor at best. But hopefully the ogres are too busy to harass you. Although this doesn't... Crabs and buckets, y'all. Zero focus. Alright, well, let's start putting together a new army. Sorry to our existing character, but we do at this point bring units in at level 7, or bring new generals in at level 7, so that's what we'll be doing. Sorry, Kelly. Just defeating enemy armies. It's very easy to keep these ones loyal. Not that we're having a lot of trouble with that. Plunderers like to sack and raid. Smugglers like to construct pirate coves. I do really like the Intrigant, even though it's not necessarily all that easy to keep their recruit ranks up, or to keep their loyalty up. The ambush success chance is so good. Yeah, all right. Any salt spray.
Admiral of the fleet. Admiral of the fleet.
She's Admiral of the Fleet, in case you didn't know. A little bit of vampire magic has done good work for us in the past. And
Ours is the sea.
so our bonus recruit ranks for ranged have worn off. We're no longer bringing in gutters at tier 5. That's a shame. But we do in fact get to recruit Necrofex Colossi in a single turn. Prometheans are a single turn as well. Wow. Let me put this army together really quickly. So let's grab this. Do we want the mortars? Like, it's nice in theory to have a bunch of mortars, but gosh, they sure are hard to get working, right? What if instead I just have 2 Necrofex Colossi? They're way more expensive. And obviously they function more as a cannon than a mortar. Would I be better off just hiring cannons? So cannons don't have the same kind of like big area splash, but their projectiles are a lot faster. The direct fire makes it a lot easier to catch things, to prevent them from moving out of the way. But they're just way less good against groups of messed up infantry. They do good work against large units though. The thing is, we don't have trouble with large units. The mortars solve a problem that we actually do care about. And then 1 more unit of crabs. That'll be 2 turns of recruitment there. And then from the global pool at the same time, we can be drawing in some like normal ranged units. Actually, yeah, we can put 3 units of deck gunners in this pool. We'll start with that. 2 turns of decent recruitment gets me 12 powerful units and like the functional core of an army. And then we'll see how we want to modify it from there.
Landfolk are weak.
And also landfolk are weak, just so we're all clear on that. 5 turns until we can hit some Curse of Bountiful Treasure. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this actually. Pete has done so much good for this army over the last couple of turns. All right, let's see how the lizard men respond to pressure from Aranessa. And they don't realize, but pressure from Henrietta is coming along as well. I wish y'all weren't fighting each other over that stuff when you could be fighting the Caravan of the Blue Roses over a great big magical tree. Imagine. It does look like Greasus just bailed, so maybe that is in fact what he is going to do. Every turn you remain here, things get worse and worse for you, and my armies heal up way faster than yours do. Yeah, they're losing units left and right. Oh, buddy, come on now. You're getting washed by garrisons. You can't be letting this happen. I thought you were supposed to be Batman. All right, well that's embarrassing for them. They just like fully overextended. The problem is they don't have a like supply line solution for having to survive in undead territory. They're going to do a lot better fighting us on the open ocean or when we're pushing settlements they control.
army you come to offer?
The military alliance is probably okay. Who around you could you declare war on with my assent? I don't really know. Also, what the hell are y'all even... I do not understand them. You know what? No, decline. You're too erratic. You're too unpredictable. Can we see a little bit of focus against the Wood Elves? You might actually be able to wipe them out. This is actually something we could help with, and it might be... I know it's not exactly one of our goals, but it might be very much to our benefit to, once we have our forces freed up of this elf stuff, to ride up there and burn out Athalorid. We'll take a lot of damage doing it. Elite elf armies guarding heavily garrisoned elite elf stuff inside of a forest that hates us with every fiber of its being. But first of all, we could probably get ourselves a little bit of a foothold, just some crappy territory that we use to replenish. And secondly, it will give them one less thing to focus on, one less thing to distract them. Yeah, look at that. The vampires can't even stay focused long enough to get to the first settlement. Plus, we're not at war with those wood elves now, but they are a constant threat to us. Yeah, this might be our next like short to medium term goal. Also, the Skaven armies are having a hell of a time winning against them. I've mentioned a couple of times that there are some factions that get a huge boost in AI versus AI combat because the auto-resolver just likes them a lot better. And I don't think it's actual like per faction weighting. I think it's the auto-resolver dramatically overvalues certain kinds of troops. The Skaven get a little bit of the opposite. Skaven armies, in my experience, are massively biased against by the auto-resolver. It treats them as being far, far weaker than they are.
Vampire of the waves.
Oh, you know what else we should be doing here? We should be recruiting units through the ally system. So do we want to just grab a couple... Like, what are we going to be up against? We're going to be up against a lot of wood elves with ranged weapons. Let's bring on a couple of storm vermin. Some heavy shield infantry, which is not a thing that we have access to. You know, instead of taking on mortars, we could take Skaven anti-infantry tools, which I think are a little bit more effective. I really, really wish that you could see the accuracy of a unit. It's a hidden stat, and I don't know why, and it's a big fucking deal. It matters so, so, so much. These things have better range than my mortars. And they have their plague effect. They dramatically drop the leadership of the things they hit. You know what? Yeah, fuck mortars. Give me 2 units of these, so that'll stick us in place for another 2 turns. And then that opens up a little bit of recruitment space here that I'm going to use to pull some ogres, because I actually really like having ogres in our armies.
Admiral of the fleet.
I think the ogres have been doing wonderful work for us so far.
Strike now.
All right, easy enough. Big armor and leadership bonus to one of the lead ogre groups, probably.
The dead will fight. Go, prisoners. Ahoy!
All right, we get to this. Our units are doing very well on their XP thresholds. The Necrofex Colossus hit gold there, so we're gonna get some good bonuses from that second red box. And tenacity. Why not tenacity? All the way up to 3,700 health. Incredible.
Get on!
Just get back in the water, really.
Ready the swordfish.
So,
A done deal.
obviously Aranessa can shut this stuff down with her lightning strike.
Attack!
Just prevent this guy from being able to recruit. Oh, actually, it'll give me a decisive victory over their whole squad. I'll just take this.
Father calls. His doctor adds.
Sorry, Necrofex Colossus. Ah, but the dead rise again.
Ever been press gagged before?
Black Buckthorn's treasure map. Hey, I remember that guy. Remember when he was alive? Interesting.
The Queen of Tides! Get them!
Okay, please reoccupy this. That has finally eliminated those lizard men.
Aranessa salt spite.
That was an embarrassing battle for them. They probably should not have ridden out onto the field to challenge me. Just leave the garrison inside. All right, we get to max that out right away. And now that now this army is actually, well, the structure is actually capped. The army's doing all right as well. Poor Necrofex Colossus will never manage to get to rank 7 if it can't survive a battle. What were we doing? We need, oh, you know, distribute your XP, some of your XP to the other vampire fleet captains is definitely useful. Or sorry, it won't work, right? It's other vampire fleet captain heroes. It doesn't affect the lords who have a very similar name but are not technically the same kind of unit. All right, so if we're gearing up for a sweep of the Wood Elves, is that what I'm doing, or do I want to think about heading east for the blue roses? Were I to head east for the blue roses, is it Aranessa and Henrietta together that do that, and then Pete and this other army kind of hang around here and play defense and poke at whatever comes by? Because I'd want them to be doing something productive, but they can't go very far because they have to be reactive. Yeah, maybe that's the right move. So if we were talking about... Oh, interesting. Sinch on the whole actually likes us. So that thing they did to us wasn't... I had assumed that it was an attempt to get me killed or something. But it's just that they're at war with Ironbrow's expedition and they were creating additional enemies. Interesting. You're the most powerful player in the game. 26 settlements. And at war with everything to your immediate north. Well, okay, maybe it makes sense for Aranessa and Henrietta to cross all this land, get into the mountain range here, and start beating up the Ironbrow expedition on our way over to make sure that the blue roses go down. I think that's what it's got to be, in fact. Let's get started. Sorry, next turn, let's get started. You can head down this way. These two armies together are pretty powerful. Obviously, Henrietta is the the secondary force there. Okay, we have reclaimed the region. The Great Desert of Araby is finished with its population upgrade, so we just need to have $6,000 at the same time. We're going to finish quite a lot of recruitment here, and this income value is going to go way down. And then the 2 turns afterward as well. So here's hoping that we can put together some money. Is there... Okay, there's a skull reef over here for Pete to come get. We can give ourselves a little bit of a cushion to work with. And then once we're over in the Ironbrow Mountains, obviously, we can sustain ourselves pretty well off of the spoils of battle for a while. Vashnar Humongous is a great name for a lord. I don't really want Sinch filling up the area to our immediate south. And I think the forces of Tzeentch and the forces of Khorne don't naturally get along. That said, Chaos Demons is Chaos Demons. I wonder if they will be kind of friendly. Yep, and the elves are immediately reaffirming my decision to keep 2 armies on defense. I probably want another 2 units of ogres, if I'm honest. Like, they're just really nice to have. Fast-moving guns, easy flanking forces, competent charge cavalry effectively. They fill in such a useful gap in our army, and they just add to the sort of like that wall of lead that hits enemies as they approach. And we're not putting ourselves too close to the main dwarf faction. Like you can see, the main dwarf faction's up here. We'll be entering the mountains to the south, I think, because there's not an entrance further up. Well, there's Carreg Orud, or we have to go all the way down here. And given that we're maybe making friends with Tzeentch, I'm gonna certainly try to make friends with Tzeentch. Maybe it does make sense to go in the south and just have their troops at our back, potentially. Again, coordination's always tricky. All right, vampires fighting wood elves. That's good for us. Both factions being tremendously weakened. It's double good for us. I do wish the game's music didn't drop out during the enemy turn sequence. I always think it's so weird when it does and doesn't use music. So there's this weird tiny Bordello errant faction. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Is that a group of rebels who respawned due to low control, or weird? Reichland's taking over Ostermark. Okay.
Blood and plunder.
So if we put 2 more pirates in the recruit pool here, they'll finish the same turn as the catapults. And then that is an army that has room for like a hero or 2.
All above board.
We are for sure going to be in a weird
This
place.
is absurd.
Relative to our
Sails
income level, though. Like, it's going to be dangerous.
Fear the pirate queen.
All right, Aranessa is marching hard to the east.
More moving.
Henrietta will not be able to keep up. Actually,
Adequate. That's
Henrietta, where was that Black Buckthorns thing? Yeah, the other Trickster Shard is not actually useful. Plus 20% movement range for your army will help you keep up, because you are definitely way slower than Aranessa. You have 58 attack normally. Do I want to just pump the charge bonus? We could get another 30 points on it, all the way up to 70. That's the only way this unit's really, like... This is the optimal play for this unit. Is a good flanking charge.
Serve for eternity.
Okay, yeah.
Stand.
Go fast. And this whole area is vampirically corrupted out, so we have very friendly movement. Yeah, I think I want to go in near Carreg Zorn instead of Carreg Orud. It'd be really convenient if there was another path sort of central, but there isn't. And Wendy, now that you have seen this, I guess the only thing for you to do is... Well, we should scout the intermediate territory too. No, probably not. I was thinking, like, what if we need to cross this? But what we're going to do is we're going to come out the top of these mountains and just get in the water, right? We will cross the Sea of Dread. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, It would be nice to find the other Rose's settlement.
Journeying.
Yeah, get in the water. We're gonna do some naval exploration here. And we are going to have to get a large amount of money on this next turn.
I cannot rewrite reality.
Can't see anything about that unit yet, except for the fact... Oh, I forgot to put... I feel silly. I forgot to put this, Join your war against Caracadron? They're all the way up there, right? Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm desperate enough for money. I will do that. I forgot to put our new lord into the officer structure. He's supposed to be the fleet treasurer, which is supposed to help offset some of the costs. That will certainly help. It's not gonna be a huge amount of money, but it will help. And we should check this turn and every few turns as we execute these maneuvers, and see if we can get the oracles to sign any kind of contract, really, anything at all. Anything that would start growing us closer together. Okay, this gave in our spreading plagues throughout the dwarven settlements. That's something. Okay, now actually get aggressive. Get inside their territory. Burn down the waterfall palace. No, where are you going? But why, though? And why don't you stay together on the way there? Ugh. With allies like these, who even needs enemies? Now, one thing that might happen that would create kind of a sticky situation for us is that as Ironbrow's faction gets weakened, they might allow the major dwarf faction to confederate them. And if they do, then all of a sudden we are in blue dwarf territory, and they are fully aware of us, and we are doing things just standing around in their lands that make them hate us even more. And that would probably end with them declaring war on us, which could be a big deal or could not, right? It could be like the Hexawaddle War, where we see a force every now and then, or it could be more like the Eatane War, where we are always having to watch, like constant vigilance for dwarves on our shores. I don't think the Skaven have the ability to reinforce that settlement. I think Dirthu's going to get that. I can't believe the number of times Marienburg has changed hands just since we've been watching it. It's such an incredibly important piece of territory. It's like, plant all your armies there. That is your main point of defense. It's where all of the money comes from. Okay, unhappy populace, whatever.
The seas are my domain.
Lucchini's populace will, in fact, be fine. And even with the upkeep reduction tech finishing, we are just barely positive. Ooh, this is a larger, more real army. That's a lot of units of depth guard. But we brought an awful lot of guns.
Fight.
And the thing about depth guard is they're only tough if they can actually fight you. I'm going to take the treasury money here because we are desperate. Hell yes. Shield of Tolos, no good. 20,000 gold, pretty good. Actually.
The sea knows my fate.
Okay, so. This is melee and armor stuff. Ensorcelled weapons. Missile strength up, spell resistance, and armor for basically all shooting units. 12% missile strength for a single skill point. Definitely exciting. Hardened by Death gives spell resistance, weapon strength, 8 points of melee attack to our Prometheans, and the Necrofex Colossus, I guess. Let's start with ensorcelled weapons, but we're definitely getting Hardened by Death as well, at the very least.
Is it daylight?
And remember, all that stuff only affects units who are in the gold ranks, at least tier 7. I guess I should probably be taking boost income. It only works in the local region, so there's only... The Gunnery White's only giving us extra money when he's in our own territory.
Admiral of the fleet.
But it is a thing we should be pursuing.
Even the Lawmaster could not.
I'll order it.
Okay, so I don't know what your deal is, and that makes it a little tricky to pursue you safely. I'm gonna just, like, move to here. Trying to stay close, but out of your attack
Far
range.
beneath an archmage.
The Queen of Tides!
Yeah, this is where we're going.
Let's go landwards.
Get moving!
Probably help you to get on the road quickly as you struggle to keep up.
They'll fall.
All right, I want to see what's over here down the coast. There's an awful lot of just like territory that I've literally never seen before. Okay, Lashiek needs a... Well, it probably makes sense to get a clay pit going. The extra trade goods will be helpful. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, before I forget, let me take Annie Salt Spray. Oh, requires 5 loyalty. Annie is not loyal enough to join the officer structure yet. Interesting. Let me focus on things that generate money for the moment. Trade tariffs right now, that's only another 100 gold per turn, but that's meaningful. All right, Sandry, we can build up and get a money-making building in. In Phyrus, we could do this. I guess it's worth it. It's not very much money. How are we doing over here? We're still really far away from the 5th level of population.
I have sailed the world.
So this is going to be 500. This is going to be like 1,400 more income per turn. So we probably need to leave a little bit of a gap here. Is there a follower that would be helpful in this situation? We need something money-making. Lord, recruitment cost down is not useful. Unliving labor force is not really useful. Hero rank, all this stuff is combat focused. All right, what about down here in salvage? Corrupt the land we have under control. This we're not really getting any use out of. Missile resistance for like the flying units, but also the dogs for some reason. Yeah, none of this does the kinds of stuff we need. Plus 15% missile damage for zombie gunnery mobs in this army. You know what? All right, give me the Powder Monkey. The Powder Monkey is a localized but powerful benefit. If we pay 2,000 right now, for 5 turns, every lord has a 50% chance to gain 1 loyalty every turn. If we could get Annie's loyalty up, it would actually make a huge difference.
All of aboard.
What are you at? You're at 3? All right, yeah, we gotta get Annie some loot. But we're doing what we can here. And again, once Aranessa and Henrietta hit the mountain range, we're probably in real good shape. Down to only 75 factions remaining. Oh, I should have checked in with the oracles last turn. We were pretty close to getting a non-aggression pact with them the first time we saw them, so hopefully they've been trending upwards on us. Yeah, it looks like the last defenders are having a really hard time keeping an army alive, so we'll probably be able to just slice right through their territory. And honestly, we'll probably take and keep a port over there. I could see that being useful. Pete Wakefield has Lightning Strike, right? I think we got it. I'm wondering if it's a good idea to run over and fight one of those elf armies. Probably not. They probably are close enough to where he is now that I couldn't, like, ride over, murder one of them, and then full sail away out of retaliation range. And you got to win that first battle very decisively to be able to take on a second full-size army before you get any replenishment at all. All right, well, the Broken Axe continue to hold their own for the moment, but in a very erratic way. I never have any idea what they're doing. All right, these tiny little Bretonnian factions, which are somehow still alive. I think, like, Musalon's blocking everybody else from getting north to wipe out their last settlements. And then Musalon's not actually paying any attention to them because they'd rather fight orcs. You know, the Musalon people, they are vampires, but they're vampire Bretonnians. Okay, that's extremely whatever. So maybe there's still some loyalty there.
Where to? Overland.
Now we're talking.
All right, Ernessa, we want to keep you with Henrietta. As we actually approach here. Carrick Zorn has a 16-unit garrison. It's a lot of pretty elite units. Also, a couple of Sauruses. It is really nice to have a Lizardman outpost in your settlement. That's got to be one of the better contributions.
They'll take the bait.
That's probably not going to work, and it probably won't do anything if it does work, but whatever. All right, so they are taking some deep water attrition here. How bad is it?
Cannot rewrite reality.
Not very bad.
This is absurd.
Okay, this army is very elite. Yeah, Phoenix Guard, White Lions, Sisters of Avalorn. They shoot arrows made of starlight. That's fucked up, right? And then Arcane Phoenixes, and yeah.
I thirst.
Pete, do you have proper Lightning Strike? You do, okay. So we could, in theory, ride over and just attack Relinda. And I do think we would take out Relinda's army, which is considerably more basic. A lot of, like, basic spearmen and stuff. But I don't think I'd be able to get away from Sarah.
Far beneath an archmage.
So
Landfolk are weak.
Andy's ready to rock. And we couldn't add too much to this army without, like, totally blowing through our cap. That said, you know, it would be awfully nice for this army to have, like, a gunnery wight. A Morgul Haunter would be nice, too. But we just don't have the space in here for one? Is that right? Yeah, I mean... Yeah, that's right. A Morgul Haunter. We'd have to hire it from a place that has the appropriate building. And we haven't actually built that building in that many places. Yeah, so from here we could recruit a Morgul Haunter and have him start running for that army. Campaign line of sight up, 25 bonus armor. That's really something. Yeah. Henri Jenkins. Definitely take... And we're going to want Insatiable Hunger, for sure. Hit points and weapon strength up. The Killing Cold. Yeah, all of that stuff matters. You're big and terrifying, and we gotta keep it together here. And then we want a Gunnery White for this army as well. I guess, yeah, try to level up quickly. So we probably want this army to sit still for one more turn. So that we can fold Pete Ingle into it.
The seas are my domain.
Gosh, it really is. Like, Pete's very fast is the thing. You know what? Let's take him.
Send them down.
We'll Lightning Strike Relinda and then we'll just bounce. Huh. It would give me a Pyrrhic victory over both of them at the cost, just at the cost of my Skaven. I mean, we have a lot of that resource built up right now. Maybe I should just take this. You know what? I'm going to. Sorry, Skaven. 4,600 gold between the two of them.
Exchange them for plunder.
I can't believe he was able to do that.
The sea knows my fate.
I was really expecting to clip the one, flee, and then come back later. With reinforcements. Alright, make sure we're feeding XP to the new white.
Blood kiss of the seas.
And I need you to get on land, and it kind of doesn't even matter where.
Plotting a course.
And a Stallion Tomb. Check it out. There it is. That's neat. I appreciate all these little, like, point of interest markers they do now. That is a new feature for Warhammer 3, I believe. Oh, yeah. You can afford to sit for one more turn. That gives us some money to work with. We are definitely invested in improving our money-making buildings and maybe no other buildings at this time.
Wave treading.
Being only 1,000 gold per turn under our threshold is not so bad, though. So Lucchini should get basic money-making building, upgrade to this. Probably also... That's a big chunk of money. And I know it matters, but we're not in danger right now. Maybe we should hold off. Alright, nobody else has a thing to build. Alright, let's have a quick chat with Sinch. Still trending upward, and this is still... Wow. We don't even have the money to balance this offer. It would cost more than 13,000 gold to buy off their 1.2 points of doubt. Well, as we fight Carrick Zorn, things will get a little better for us. Oh, and I didn't check Annie's loyalty level, but I should. So we might be able to install her as treasurer by now. Yeah, so Pete will go into encampment mode. He'll pull a couple more units of Skaven. And apparently he's shown up just in time to help out. We'll have Annie ride or sail up in that direction with only 19 units, and the Morngul Haunter will just chase. And I think I've just given up. At this point, it would take so long to train a map action assassination character up to a level where they would be useful against other factions' characters that wouldn't just be dying all the time, I think it's probably not worth it. It's a very valuable thing if you can get it going in the early game, get to immortality, you know. Wow, did the dwarves actually lose that battle? That's crazy. It's great news for us. Means our ally survives to put some considerable pressure on the north side of the Ironbrow expedition. And the Mussolinian forces were defeated at their home castle. This feels like a great opportunity for the Broken Axe to just finish that faction off once and for all. And I'm like relatively certain they're not going to take it. The thing about the AI is they have very little interest in doing things that help them in the long term. I don't know what what kind of math it is they're doing, but it definitely seems focused on the very immediate future. Plus, the longer you let a faction live, the more chances their legendary lord has to just make your life totally miserable. Wow, Ashok the Bloody is ranging pretty far north. Alright. Feeling any better about it this turn? You are not. Fair enough.
Crew, to me!
Alright, into a stance that lets me attack.
It shall be done.
And let's do it. Oh, interesting. Kasabar has a City of Bronze. A special landmark building that has no text on it. That's not correct. It's definitely supposed to tell you what it does. Weird.
See, father!
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
They are shark baits.
Oakry Furrowbrow is the only unit nearby. Oh, I didn't mean to have Henrietta attack. I was just trying to step within range. Well, I mean, whatever. She can, if she can take it, let her get all the XP herself. Yeah, and then burn it down. For sure, and then burn it down.
Treasure is there.
Aranessa salt spite!
Because Aranessa's army does not really need XP.
The trap is set.
The galleon awaits.
Alright, we can finish this off. We're going to get taunt eventually. It's going to happen. You can work toward Deadly Onslaught. So what we're trying to get to here, this cap-off skill, gives us a massive boost to charge bonus and weapon damage, and it's a percentage charge bonus boost. So it works really well with the very high flat charge value that we're going to have soon. Peter, get in there. Almost. She's almost loyal.
The crew are restless.
She needs to find someone to murder. That's what's going to really turn it around for her.
Assembling. Deckhands, forward!
Winning a battle and doing the share loot with my lord thing is definitely going to be the way we solve that problem. All right, allied recruitment. At this point, we're fighting a lot fewer. I think it makes more sense for it to be sword and shield units. Oh, I don't have the... Hold on. When we're not in friendly territory, these things are a little bit more expensive.
Don't linger.
You can make it up to their territory and also get a replenishment bonus for being in their territory. There we go. Now we can afford to. Yeah, and it's that extra amount of resources is the thing you get a discount on from having a tier 3 outpost.
The dead.
Boy, this kind of just looks like nothing, huh? This looks like an undeveloped area. Is that really all it is? Yeah, it's all cliffed off. You can't see anything. Interesting. A considerable amount of space, too. future expansion territory, maybe? Something. All right, you're just headed for the army I would like to put you in. And we certainly have enough money to pursue some upgrades. Especially these ones. Do we want to do anything else in particular? I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll still have 20,000 in the bank. I think that's fine. Al-Hake should probably get this. And honestly... Oh, yeah, we should definitely have salt pans. What's taking me so long on the salt pans? So take us down to only 10k, but we are only... we're not losing all that much money anymore. And things are only going to get better in that respect. Ooh. This gets us quite low, but it would allow me to construct another money-making building. Also, more stuff for the trade house. Yeah, okay. It's something. It's coming along. So we have like 12, 13 turns of runway right now. And then we're going to be pulling money from fighting these dwarves every turn for a while. I think we're going to be okay. Amadeus Zroka Ultimus. Demons have, like, such wild names. I'm surprised so much of this place has remained uninhabited. Because it's not just, like, fake Skaven uninhabited. If it was, we would still be able to see the settlements because we are allied with them. The same way that we know that they have actually put an undercity in Bilbali, despite the fact that we've never been to Bilbali personally. So we know that they actually have just left all of this stuff open. And I think that's such a strange play. I've left it open because I was afraid of provoking the High Elves. I guess maybe that's the same idea for them. I don't know if the AI thinks that way. But these are, like, pretty dangerous areas that would actually be challenging to hold. You know, I just assumed that we don't want to hold any of the territory over here. Do I want to take over this mountain range, actually? Would it be beneficial to do so? Because especially if we're thinking of taking and maybe actually holding on to some territory on the coast, I wonder if having the mountains as a sort of as a backstop makes sense. What is that? There's some kind of unit in that Wood Elf army that I've never seen before. It looked like a big lizard man. It certainly wasn't a Famir. Gosh, I wish you guys would just finish off Musalon. All right, let's just do one or two things here before we call the episode for the day. First of all... Damn it. I could see what was in his army moments ago. Yeah, that's frustrating. I don't know what that unit was, and that's weird. The Oracles of Tzeentch. So it's going to be under T.
Eternals, your reality.
So close. So close. Less close than we were, actually. But there are some things we can do about that. So yeah, we're in good position here to hit the Lost Plateau. Henrietta does not have anywhere near the replenishment speed that Aranessa does. So if I'm planning to maybe try to hold on to, like, Liberis. None of this stuff over here has any landmarks for me. There's no special... I was kind of hoping Lamia might have special landmarks for us, because it is a really important city to an undead faction. But they're just... the Khemri are different enough that we don't share that kind of overlap all the time. Ugh, Pig Barter still belongs to the Blue Roses, but now they have Shattered Stone Bay as well. Yeah, they're going to need our help. They're going to need us to save them. We've almost evened out on income. And Annie can, in fact, become Fleet Treasurer now. Extra money from the ports makes us very slightly positive. It takes a lot of money to run an army in this game.
Pirate's life!
All right, I think we're on to some really important stuff here. I am so glad that we are no longer just pinned to fighting around the same 4 settlements over and over again. You know what? Also, before we actually end the episode, just real quick to peek, we are at 44 of 75 settlements. So we're getting there. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we will continue drilling through these mountains and also all of the dwarves within to reach the eastern coast so that we can help fight some vampires. We will continue punking elves at absolutely every possible opportunity, and we will continue carefully counting every gold coin we receive. And we'll see you then.